It's Nate back with a quick episode here on a Tuesday to talk about something that has been, again, coming up over and over as I'm working with the clients in our nutrition and health coaching program. Incidentally, little sidebar here, if you would love some extra support, accountability, and guidance in your journey to become a healthier version of yourself, we are currently accepting enrollees in our coaching program. You just go to beginwithin.fit/coaching. You can learn more about it, and you can click on the Get Started button if you'd like to get started. In addition to having access to our app, access to a real live coach, just like me, via messaging to help with questions and concerns you have along the way, as well as access to our Habit Academy, which teaches you to use the power of your own brain to make new healthy habits a real part of your life. You also get access to live group coaching sessions. You get access to an expert every single week where you book in to the session and then you attend with the other clients who wanted to attend at that time, have access to a coaching topic. We always cover something of interest, similar to the types of things that we cover here on this podcast, but you have the opportunity to ask questions, to talk about how that particular topic is showing up in your journey. And then after that, we just take some time, and each and every individual who wants some specific individual attention gets it before we close up each of the sessions. So we just kind of go around the room. Everyone who wants to gets a chance in the hot seat, if you will, just to talk about how their journey's going and to have any concerns or problems or roadblocks, those kinds of things addressed with the coach who's leading the session. So lots of support, tons of guidance, and the ability to have someone helping to hold you accountable. It makes a difference for so many people. If you feel like that's something that will benefit you, hop over to beginwithin.fit/coaching and get started today. There is a link in the show notes as well if you want to go there as you keep listening to this episode. Check it out, get started, and hopefully I will see you inside our coaching program. Now, let's talk about this topic. It's September at the time of this recording. We are just getting started with what I call the fitness season, which is the time after Labor Day when life sort of starts to have a little bit more structure after the blurry borders that come with the summertime, with vacations, with traveling, lots of get-togethers, those kinds of things. Well, after that's all over and kind of the kids go back to school, things settle in to the regular routine. They kind of go back to normal again. What I have found for myself and for so many others is that's the time when we start to say, all right, I'm going to fit fitness, health, and fitness back into my life again. And rather than just trying to do it, what I want to encourage you to do today is to plan on doing it. What I have for you, and I'll have a link in the show notes as well, for you to get access to this, is a weekly planner. And for me, I do this from time to time. It kind of drives Amanda nuts. But what I'll do is I'll sit down. I love a pencil and paper to just plot out my normal week. What does normal look like? And what does normal and healthy look like for me, right? So what are the big things in my life that I know already where they're going to go? I want to sit down. I'm going to write those in so I can see the whole week just the way that it all sets up. I can see when I have meetings and appointments that are just standing there important, I'm going to make sure that I'm there. I can see where I'm doing activities that involve other people, like volunteering, time that I have set aside to spend with my wife, those kinds of things, right? I make sure that they are in the weekly routine. They're in that plan. And so what I'm going to make available to you is the exact piece of paper that I use. You can print it out, or you can just use the PDF if you have your some means online to mark it up. If you use your iPad, your other device, smartphone, you can just mark it up. You can just write inside the little boxes and plot it out for yourself. I have it divided into 30-minute segments from Sunday through Saturday. 30-minute segments. This sheet starts at 5 a.m. You could create your own if you want to start earlier, and it ends at midnight. So there's probably going to be some sleeping happening in there. Whatever time is represented by the time that you're sleeping, you just block it out. You could just color it in. You could write in it. And then the other priorities have to go in there. The things you absolutely know are going to be happening each and every week, or at least on a regular basis. We're going to put those in next. Okay, so link is in the show notes to go grab that tool. And then what I want you to do is sit down. First, block out sleep. That's what I want you to do very, very first thing. Mark off the cells or the boxes on that sheet, that planner, those 30-minute boxes. Mark off the ones that you know you're going to be sleeping on a regular basis normally. And what hopefully you're going to see is that that's consistent from one day to the next. Experts say that's the healthiest way to do it. So what time am I getting up? What time am I going to sleep each and every day? What I want you to do after that is get those priorities in that involve other people, that happen at a regular time each and every week. They're the things that we have to show up for. Other people are counting on us to be there for. So meetings, time for worship, if that's part of your regular routine, time with family, if you've got a certain time set aside each and every week that you spend with your family, work meetings, things that you know have to be addressed with other people. Other people are counting on you to be there at a certain time. So, and of course, if you have to drive to get there, you're going to block out the time that it takes for you to travel there as well, in addition to blocking out the exact time that meeting takes place, right? So that's how we're going to delineate the first kind of level of priorities are the things that other people are counting on us for, that we are going to show up for on a regular basis. They've got a time set aside in the week on the schedule. Put it on the sheet for me. All right. Next, anything else that you know, I am absolutely devoted to this activity, to this thing at this certain time each and every week. It's going to be what I'm focused on. So this can be work, right? It might not be your specific meeting, but hey, I have to be at work during this time. Go ahead and block that off. And that's going to chew up a lot of your week. I understand that. What we're trying to do is start to get some awareness of what's left, because those are the times that we can use to pursue health and fitness and wellness in general. So what's left, the white spaces, and I know you've still got white spaces between work and sleep, or between the time you wake up and the time you have to go to work. And if you don't have any white spaces, it might be that you need to make some adjustments, quite honestly, right? So look at the white spaces next. That's what we want to do. And then take a look in particular at the morning routine and what things you want to make sure that you're doing after you wake up that are going to benefit you in terms of your well-being, your health and fitness, but also, right, there's a psychological component to health, and so many of the highest achievers and the people that do things that matter consistently, that make a difference to others, they have a really well-established morning routine. So what I want you to do is look at that white space in the morning first, and then answer the questions. What would I like to be doing on a regular basis? What would my best normal situation look like on these times each and every day? And I want you to mark that off each and every day. What's the morning routine looking like? Time for reading, time for other important things. Put it in there. And if it's less than 30 minutes, I know I have 30-minute blocks on my form that you can download. That's okay. That's okay. But, put a little line through it. Just mark in that 30-minute slot what is happening. If it's a 10-minute process or a 15-minute process, just put it in there and put what else is happening in addition to that one 15-minute activity. Now, other white space, we need to fit in our movement time, exercise time, right? So what I would recommend, and I've done this before, we've talked about this here on the show, is block off some time that you can be consistent every single day with movement. And I don't want that to sound overwhelming. And oftentimes, in order to get the results that we want, do we have to do it every single day? We absolutely don't. But the people that are most successful have that time set aside every single day. So it might be that you're not necessarily doing resistance training or weightlifting every single day, but if that time on the other days isn't set aside, what often happens is it's the other day that becomes the normal thing, and then our workouts always feel like an uphill battle. So what I want you to do is mark off time every day, whatever's available in that white space. 30 minutes, an hour, great. We can always expand it later. We can change our sleep schedule later, but we're just trying to get a sense for normally what's going to be happening. What time can I set aside every day for movement? Because it's such an important part, not just of, I'm not talking about burning calories, I'm talking about moving to be the best version of yourself. Getting some movement in, getting some blood pumping to your organs, to your muscles, to your brain, so that you can show up as the best version of yourself for all the other stuff that you already marked off on your week. Okay? Now, I also want you to, before we wrap up, and of course there's other things you can put on here, but the other important thing that I found as I'm working with you and with the other clients that I work with on a regular basis is time to prepare the food that we're going to be eating in order to be the best version of ourselves. Eating is going to happen. We know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, there's time that probably is already set aside for that, and perhaps you've already outlined it, and if you haven't, go ahead and do it. But the time to prepare that food, is it going to be right before the meal? Then mark it off. Is it going to be something that you do every couple of days? Is it going to be something you do a couple times a week or even once a week to make sure that you have what you need? And then you're going to use your refrigerator and your freezer to put that prepared food there until you're ready to eat it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So set aside some time, the realistic amount of time that you need to prepare that food. Is it Sunday and Wednesday? Is it a chunk of time on Sunday? That's going to help you get the week started, and then just a little bit of time later in the week to sort of finish out the week before you have the weekend again and a little bit more time to prepare. So get serious about when that prep is going to happen, because that is one of the biggest contributing factors to success that we have found, that I have found both personally and professionally as I'm helping others to become the healthiest versions of themselves. I hope you like this little exercise. I'm going to stop myself here. There's so much more that we could put onto that weekly planner, but you get the idea. I want you to sit down. I want you to put some effort into that week. What is that normal week going to look like for you? Of course, we know things are going to change, life's going to happen. That's okay. We can always go back to the drawing board and make some adjustments if there's a new normal that needs to happen for us. But otherwise, we don't get stressed when something comes up and we have to go address it and start kind of pushing things around, rescheduling them. That's okay. That's just the way life goes. But if there needs to be a new normal, we can always come back. You can always print off another sheet. You can always make a new one on a piece of paper. But it helps to see the flow of the whole week in one space for me. I hope it does for you too. What I'd love for you to do is go to the show notes, get the link to download that sheet. There's other resources there for you as well. But what I would just absolutely love is if you would take a picture or screenshot of your weekly planner once you have it, at least worked up as far as we've talked through here, and show that picture to me on social media or post it to yours and tag me at Nate Slegger in it so that I could celebrate with you that you've taken this really important step to set yourself up for success by planning ahead. I'll talk with you again soon. Thanks so much for joining me on the Begin Within Health Show.